magic in the air. Wands roll around us, cast away our care. Friends in the hallways, adventures we find. Spells and enchantments, trouble on our mind. That's so wizards, oh, 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 oh. Life is a spell we know. We're casting joy and glow, oh, oh. That's the Wizard Show.
Greetings, my fellow supervillains. It is I, the OGGM, broadcasting live from Site B, located in the center of the mythical town of Fresno, Nevada, which does not in fact exist. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for me to put on my supervillain hat and continuing with my villianarc, where I defend and say nice things about Wizards of the Coast. Because repeat after me for the millionth time, once again, Wizards of the Coast has done exactly what it said it was going to do. Oh no! And we're continuing our exploration of the brand new Heroes of the Borderland reemergence of the classic Keep of the Borderlands, where they took the beloved, possibly single most iconic adventure, the original West March, the original, hey, could you clear this out for us and we'll give you a ball of string adventure, Keep of the Borderlands, Caves of Chaos, B1, B2, B3, and represented it as something sort of a little bit more approachable, safe, comfy, more in tune with 2024 D&D. Unfortunately, or as if it was all part of the plan, the Keep on the Borderland, Heroes in the Borderland Dungeons and Dragons as it's presented, and 2024 Dungeons and Dragons as it's presented, do not cross-pollinate. In fact, the general consensus is I'm going to call it Keep on the Borderlands. I'm sorry. I know it's called Heroes of the Borderlands, but whatever. I'm going to call it Keep on the Borderlands. Keep on the Borderlands Dungeons and Dragons does not cross-pollinate with 2024 Dungeons and Dragons. The major number one complaint I have read in every review, even the positive ones, is it doesn't prepare your average beginning player for D&D 2024 because it's that much different. So the brand new starter set is not compatible with 2024 D&D. Would it count then as a completely new version of Dungeons and Dragons? Because we've seen that before, haven't we? Where the D&D in a box set is different enough from D&D and the other thing that it's almost slightly different. I mean, that's how we get to, so many different versions of Dungeons and Dragons where people talk about BX and Expert and Holmes Basic and Red Box and White Box and Blue Box, is that there were subtle differences. There's, 3 to 3.5. The Rick and Morty starter set for Dungeons and Dragons 2014 and the regular 2014 Dungeons and Dragons. There's enough differences that if you're nitpicky, you could claim that they are different versions. Again, I mean, we talk about all the time about, this emulates Basic, this emulates BX, this emulates 0+ Chainmail. Shout out to Basic Expert. So let's see what they say. And I don't think it's going to say anything different that I've already talked about. People are going to say, well, they don't really play because they changed it and it's doing all these new things. I hate change, except of course, none of the things they're doing is new. They're taking stuff that they've done in the past and representing it in a slightly better way. And so far, there is nothing about this I dislike. Like if I was going to start playing 2025 Dungeons and Dragons with my niece or whatever, I'd start with this. I think this is a great way to introduce new players to 2024 Dungeons and Dragons. Except, of course, apparently it's not 2024 Dungeons and Dragons. It's slightly different. Now, not having a copy of 2024 Dungeons & Dragons in front of us, I don't know how different. We do know it only takes you to level 3, as expected. That the character sheet is much more dumbed down than expected. It's a great introduction for brand new players. If you had no idea what 2024 Dungeons & Dragons was, this would be a great way to introduce them. Except, of course, again, it doesn't cross-pollinate with 2024 D&D. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen the thing yet, which we've talked about before, and just disappeared for some reason. Oh, there it is. It's back. I don't know what's going on. Computer's been weird. All right, so here's the new character record sheet. Seems like a standard character record sheet. I would almost say there's a little too much going on it. It shows how many things you start with, all your little bonuses. Doesn't show the stat. Okay, it doesn't show the stat. It just shows the bonus. So I have a +2 to strength, a -1 to dexterity if I'm playing the cleric, which, knowing me, I play the cleric because it is the best and most broken class in the game, and my favorite other than rogues. So yeah, no number. All right, so since the bonus is pound for pound more important than the I hope nobody's trying to chat with me because I can't see it in StreamYard. Oh, there's 2 people on. Hello, 2 people. The bonus is more important, right? Nobody in D&D anymore cares about 17, 18, 14, 13. They care about the +2, +3, +4. Now, there is an argument that that is not appropriate. It doesn't really work well because 18 and 19 give you the same bonus. And you're much more closer to 20 if you're at 19 than you are at 18. And if you're playing where you need to, I get +2 to 1 stat or +1 to 2 stats at this level, you might want to be able to look at your sheet and go, oh, I've got a 16 in whatever. But if I put a +1 into that, it becomes a 17, which ups my bonus, right? So yeah, they got rid of the number, and some people are going to complain about that. For some, this guy's got different numbers with no explanation as to why. Why do I have a +6 in religion, but only a +1 from intelligence? Where am I getting that from? Is that somewhere over here? Does that describe that over somewhere over here? No, it doesn't. So where's my explanation for that? Well, that's, in the player's handbook or on the cards. So I don't know if most players would be like, how come I have this and this? But some metagamers might already be looking at this and going, okay, how did I get here? How can I make that better? Then you have the place for all the cards. And again, I love the cards. I wonder if I can watch myself do this on YouTube and see if I can see if anybody's posting chats. That'd be nice, right? Oh, there's me. Oh, okay. We got some things from Aaron the Relentless. Hi, Aaron. All right, so I can see what people are typing. All right. Mostly it's the YouTube one. Corporate of Waffle says hi. Aaron the Relentless says hi. I knew Aaron was coming. It's not D&D. Oh, it's not D&D because it doesn't have proms or coffee shops in it. How long until the physical box is discontinued or discounted at Ollie's? It's been a week, right? So mid-October? Just in time for Christmas? No stat value. Why not? All right. Character creation. Blah, 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 blah. You get your thing, pick your cards. It's got a more... Everybody keeps calling this a more board game style. It's not. There's nothing in this that we haven't seen before. It's got a map. It comes with maps. It's got the little tokens. Come with tokens. It's got the cardboard character record sheets. Oh, what happens if I lose that? Well, of course, Wizards will replace the cardboard record sheets for, money. It's got the different little cards, which I love. So I'm not sure And the combats and everything is resolved on the battle map, where you move your little thing and make your motion and then do your little thing. Is that a board game, or is that just something we've seen before? And people have said, yeah, we've seen sets before with more props than this. You think this is a lot of props? There's some stuff that has come out that has more props. The only problem with the cardboard is it's not reusable. So I'd have to replace it with paper eventually, or get more cardboard trackers and thingies or whatever. And I'm sure Wizards of the Coast doesn't have that already planned. Oh, wait. Yeah, they probably do. Then we got the player's guide. We got the thing. Then we got the introduction to the actual keep and all the little baby quests that are floating around in the keep. Not a lot. It's the starter zone for any video game ever that does starter zones. It's got a little teeny town. They've taken away, for some reason, the whole first chunk of Keep on the Borderlands, which is go clean out this keep, and what you do, it's yours, more or less, and use this keep as your base of operations to clean out the wilderness, the West Marches. That is the core West March that everybody else has made West Marches from. Let's keep on the borderline. Clean it out. It's yours. Populate it. Then we're going to start charging you taxes and start secretly sending our agents over there and members of our cult. But for now, yeah, you do all the work. We get the reward. And then you use that to do more work for us, like clean out those caves so we can start mining them. Clean out the wilderness so we can start profiting off of it. It's pretty insidious when you think about it from your 2025 cynical point of view, but back then it was just amazing. But they've taken that away. The keep has now already been resettled for reasons. It's filled with a lot of little NPCs, little quirky things. We've seen the NPCs, the little strange looking woman with the backpack and the strange looking barbarian. And these, you sort of, they're supposed to be cute, but they're and approachable and comfy and look like normal people, but they're actually disturbing. Oh, where? I would love to pick up Keep on the Borderlands. I think I have the PDF though. Then they give us some more examples. These prices are ridiculous. 25 gold pieces for a vial of acid, 50 gold pieces for antitoxin. But I can get a bag of marbles for a gold piece. Potion of healing, 50 gold pieces. Healer's kit, 5 gold pieces. I hope they did explain why I would need that. 5 gold pieces for a lantern, 1 gold piece for rope. Musical instruments, but there's no bard, so why do I need musical instruments? Should you buy it? Clearly, it's focused on lowering the barrier to play much as you could without keeping the field of D&D. It's got the caves. The caves are what they've always been, sort of a segregated hotel for monsters. Oh, here's the section where the goblins are. Oh, here's the section where the orcs are. Here's the section where the cultists are. Here's the final boss. That hasn't changed. Just a little bit easier and dumbed down. D&D for kids, D&D for newcomers, D&D for people who've never played before. Starter set. But it does not prepare you. And look at these ridiculous prices. 1 gold piece for ale. 1 gold piece for bottomless soup. Do I get free breadsticks with that? Because if I do, I'm never leaving. Bark tea, cider, dessert. Oh, they're out of cake. Oh no. Here's where somebody asks, is there an adventure where you have to work for the drunken dragon? And there probably is. Was there anything interesting in the new starter set? Yeah, it's got the cards, which I love the cards. I think the cards are great. What does this NPC look like? I could describe him, or I could just show the card. What does this treasure look like? If you're too lazy to write it down, here's the card. Oh no, I lost the card. Guess you lost the magic item. Probably unfair, and probably I'd get in trouble for doing it, but whatever. You get dice, you get the cards, you get the little, this is what the little chits thing. Spend 2 hit points, spend your spell points, get the chits back. We know people are going to lose those, and I'm sure there's some way that Wizards of the Coast has already figured out to capitalize on the fact that we know people are going to lose the props and the cards. So yeah, there's no real complaints about this. There's nothing really wrong with this. If I was starting D&D with a new group, or if I was giving D&D to somebody who'd never played before, I'd go here, which then leads us to the next part. But it doesn't prepare you for 2024 D&D, because 2024 D&D, which is not compatible with 2015 D&D, and this are different. There's more bells and whistles in 2024 D&D. Enough so that, as we've seen in the wild, that it's managed to completely confound and bamboozle people who even worked on it, like Matt Mercer, who supposedly had something to do with it when actually trying to implement 2024 D&D into Campaign 3, broke down multiple times. There was like a 20-30 minute argument over how a spell worked between D&D 1 and D&D 2. So why would D&D 2 and D&D beginner set look different? Okay, I've reached 3rd level. I've completed the adventure. I'm now ready to move up to normal D&D. This looks different. This is different. There's things on here that weren't on my character. I have to get new cards. I have to get something that explains to me what I can do now at 3rd and 4th. And I have new abilities. What the fuck's a feat? What are talents? Backgrounds? What are backgrounds? Why do I have a +6 in this one thing? Where's my explanation? Oh, I don't get one? It's almost like it's a different version. It's almost like it's a different version. And, like I said at the beginning, we've had this happen before, where a version comes out and then a different version comes out, even though it's the same time period, BX, expert set, immortal set, blue box, green box, white box, yellow box, Go Dog Go box, themed starter set, Rick and Morty starter set, the first Stranger Things starter set, the Acquisitions Incorporated starter set. They're different. And they're slightly different enough that people have argued that the Holmes Basic and the blue box is better than the blah, blah, blah. We've all heard that argument. I'm sure Aaron could go through the timeline way better than I could. But is it different enough that you'd say this is a different D&D? And if it is a different D&D, then, oh no, is it intentional? Have they looked at it and gone, yeah, 2024 D&D isn't really working. Let's release this slightly easier version for the inevitable next switch, because June 2027 D&D 6X is still floating out there, and whatever they have planned for 2030 is still floating out there, and we have Critical Role 2025 Campaign 4 using modified D&D starting in a few weeks. And we've seen the characters already. We haven't seen their powers or what they actually can do, but we've seen the characters, and they're weird. There's more humans than I think anybody expected. So could it be that D&D 2024 modified Critical Role is going to be closer to this? Will there be house rules to take this beyond 3rd level? Will there be enough to actually say I could run a campaign using this with what I've house ruled, and I don't need 2024 D&D because all I just do is just take Keep on the Borderlands and just expostulate because it's different enough? Is it intentional? Is this what 2027 D&D might look like? Is this what Critical Role D&D is going to look like? Because they've said repeatedly it's 2024 D&D modified, which of course leads to my theory. Oh yeah, the blank slates. Oh, I can't share. Can I share? No, I can't. And stuff. So I leave it to you. I leave it to you, true believer. Is this intentional? Is it just a dumb accident? Because once again, Wizards of the Coast put its horse before the cart? I don't know. Do not know. I'd have to see it played. Is there enough ammunition that this could be a separate version from 2024 D&D? Is this the version we're going to see Critical Role played? Is this a completely different version? Is it just a one and done? Are we going to see it on the shelves of Ollie by the middle of next month? Or is it a guidepost, a sign of the future plans for the continuing stupiding down of D&D? Let's make it even easier. Let's make it even more unlike what people think D&D is. So when the rumored whatever they have planned for 2027 and the rumored whatever they have planned for 2030 come out, mostly digital, it's different enough. Especially with the Forgotten Realms Super Duper Deluxe set coming out in November, which has both the regular Forgotten Realms books and the Super Duper Deluxe Forgotten Realm books that you could only get on D&D Beyond. But there's no mention of D&D Beyond on this. This is one and done. You run it out of the box once they're done. There is no room to continue unless you switch over to D&D Beyond D&D, or you house rule this, which looks like it'd be easy enough, especially with so many free things available that you could do that. In other news, they're fucking around with Magic again. As of November 10th, there'll be a new ban list. Oh no. Cards you think you're used to playing will now not work the way you thought they were going to work. Oh no. It'll be different again. There'll be new combos and new things that are broken and new things that aren't broken. Oh no. If you play Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering, legal, you probably already know about this. It's probably already been hinted at you. Our good friend God of Ka talks about Magic pretty regularly. So if you want to follow up with him, please give him a subscribe. You can follow all the Magic things. I don't do Magic anymore. It got too complicated, too weird, too whatever. Too much of a cash grab. It stopped, even, Commander stopped being what Commander was supposed to be about. And it became this whole thing. And they started putting rules and whatever. And, when you catch your friend cheating, it was supposed to be a fun game of let's put Magic the Gathering cards together out of whatever we could find and try and build a theme. And that was pretty much when I stopped. I was like, it stopped being fun, but it's profitable. And the best way to make it continuing to be profitable is occasionally randomly ban cards, especially ban cards that are very powerful in the current meta. Ooh, Magic the Gathering terminology. Current meta. So now you have to find new cards that allow you to continue the whatever broken build you're playing with, or whatever, you build a new deck because the deck you built was built around a certain combination of cards, and now that combination doesn't work because it got banned. And now Commander is so heavily controlled that the cards, the goofy cards, aren't playable anymore. Even Commander has a meta, and that meta will change with banned cards. So you either have to buy new cards or build a new deck. It's like they planned it so that there's always a never-ending income source. It's the same thing that Games Workshop does, except with cards instead of LEB. So it's still slightly cheaper, but still you end up forking out $10, $20, $100, $1,000 every cycle because you have to keep your deck competitive. And oh no, here's some new deck cards which are slightly different enough. Oh yeah, this is a brand new card. It has a Grave Bound. Well, how's Grave Bound different than Dredge? Because I've got my Dredge cards and they do the exact same thing. Yeah, but the word's different. But it's the same mechanic. No, it isn't. We changed the word. But it does. No, it doesn't. But nope. But nope. But no, but this Keeping the Borderlands D&D is different than 2025 D&D. No, it's not. Stop it. No, it's the same. But it isn't. No, it's not. Stop it. Then I have to ask, was it a mistake? Or did they do it on purpose? What do you think? Let me know. Meanwhile, if you're feeling generous with the holidays coming up, here's a moment of time where you can consider supporting the OGGM with the various ways I am available to be supported. Please, the holidays are coming up and Steve wants a present. You can donate to my Ko-Fi. You can do a super chat. That's still a thing. You can use my affiliate link to get yourself a set of Only Crits dice, the only dice in the tabletop role-playing game multiverse that is approved by Steve the Cat. You can support my product available on drive-thru through the link down below, still marked down to $6. You can check out my Patreon, where I'm currently playtesting the brand new versions of the 2 games that I'm working on. The Patreon is $9 right now. I wanted it to be $5, but for whatever reason, it's $9. That is that. So until next time, just remember, no matter how weird it gets, no matter how frustrating it gets, no matter how nonsensical it gets, they did tell you exactly what they were going to do. And so far, oh no, they're doing that because that's so wizards.
In the classroom, potions gone astray, flying through the quad, now brighter every day. Laugh till we cry hard, sneaking out at night, cloaks in the moonlight, everything feels right. That's so wizards, oh, 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 oh. Life is a spell we know. We're casting joy